How to use gratitude when you have nothing to be grateful for. Have you ever felt like that? That you've just hit rock bottom or you have nothing to be grateful for? Today we're going to talk about that, okay? I have so many stories of using gratitude in my life, and I know I say gratitude over and over and over when you hear me on these videos, but there's a reason for that. Because if you can learn to use it as a tool, it will totally change your perspective on life, okay? So let's get into this a little bit. I have so many stories of using gratitude in my life, even when I felt I had nothing left. So many times gratitude helped pull me from being so pessimistic about my life. I'll tell you about the time when I hit my rock bottom and got sick and tired of being sick and tired. It was in 2013. My live-in boyfriend at the time of 6 years had just passed away. I was living by myself. At the time when we were living together, he was drawing disability and I was working as a nursing assistant at a long-term care facility. I just remember my pay was low. And I tried my best after he passed away to keep the bills up by myself. I did it for like 3 months. I just remember I kept overdrafting my bank account over and over again just to try to keep my bills paid up so I could live by myself instead of, having to go home to my mom and live with her. I was trying my best to be independent, but these days, especially even back then, it was hard to live on just one paycheck, I just remember overdrafting my bank account over and over again. I remember going to bed hungry a few times. One day I went to the ATM to try to draw out some money to pay a bill, and I remember it wouldn't give me any money. And I remember I sat in the car and I just cried and I cried and I cried till I couldn't cry anymore. And I was at a gas station in a convenience store just sitting there bawling my eyes out. Then something snapped in me. And instead of feeling sorry for myself, I got mad. I got ticked off. I started beating the steering wheel with my fist. And I just remember thinking there has to be more to life than living like this. I sped home and decided right then and there that something had to change because the way I was living was not working. So I had to learn to change myself. What did I do? I went home and I started researching successful people and what they were doing that I wasn't. That's where I first learned about the law of attraction and how your thoughts have so much to do with the circumstances in your life. Your thoughts create things. Every choice you make in life leads you on a path. Your thoughts, your beliefs, inspired action all creates your reality and your circumstances. Remember in the Bible it says God spoke it into existence? I'm not saying we are gods because I don't believe that. I'm saying we each have a tiny spark from our Creator that's in each one of us. In my opinion, we're way more powerful than we know, and we just haven't tapped into it yet. So from that day forward, I started learning everything I could about manifesting, affirmations, personal development, all the self-help stuff, law of attraction, anything and everything I could learn. And slowly it started making me see that complaining all the time and being so negative all the time like I was, no wonder that my life was the way it was. I was bringing that stuff to me. I was drawing all that stuff into my life. Gratitude is the one thing that I found so easy to do. And instead of just using it like affirmations, I learned to use it as a tool to manifest so many different things in my life. I know when you're down, the last thing you want to hear from someone is, what are you grateful for today? But even when you can think of just one thing to be grateful for, it starts to flip your mindset around. And just that tiny little step can help you more than you can imagine. Now we're going to get into it, okay? Why traditional gratitude advice fails people in crisis. The list 10 things you're grateful for advice when you're in pain or despair feels fake when you're trying to do it. We don't need fake positivity. We need real, raw truth. Being authentic to yourself and facing yourself head on is a good thing. Forced gratitude that feels fake can actually backfire and cause resistance. When you're in spiritual alignment, everything in your life will ebb and flow. Sometimes we all feel that we have nothing to be grateful for. That's normal human behavior, okay? You're not wrong and you're not behind. What gratitude actually does, the science and the spiritual. If you learn to use gratitude as a tool instead of just as affirmations, it can help you not only manifest what you want, but if you do it as a daily practice, it'll help shift your mindset. Gratitude shifts your frequency and what you attract. Just start by saying thank you over and over again. You'll feel your energy start to shift and rise inside of you. Neuroscience is where gratitude helps to rewire your brain over time. That's why you want to learn to use it as a tool, because if you can learn to use it as a daily practice or a daily habit, it's going to rewire your brain. It's going to help you think more positively about everything, and it's going to change your perspective on life. It's going to help you see things totally different, okay? The law of attraction angle is you attract what you feel, not just what you think. Gratitude is one of the fastest ways to shift your emotional state, and it's also the fastest way to manifest stuff. So the key message here is even the smallest shift in feeling opens the door to change. Micro gratitude. This is what you need to use if you're feeling down and out and you don't even feel like trying to be grateful for anything, okay? Micro gratitude is being grateful for even the teeniest, tiniest thing in your life, okay? It's something you can use when you feel like you have nothing to be grateful for. You want to use tangible, ground level examples that you can relate to, something that you know is true. I am grateful I woke up today. I'm grateful for the hot water in my shower. I'm grateful for this cup of coffee. Small is actually powerful. It's not about the size of the thing. It's about the genuine feeling it creates. Start where you actually are, not where you think you should be. You are not behind. A simple gratitude practice for your hardest days. Here's a low-pressure practice you can do in under 5 minutes. Name or write one thing about your body you're grateful for. One thing about your surroundings. Even if you live in the most humble home in the world, there has to be something about that surrounding, probably because you have a roof over your head. That's what I used to use all the time. I'm so happy and grateful I have a roof over my head tonight. One thing about yourself, a strength, a quality, a moment of resilience. What is one thing about yourself that you're grateful for? That you're brave, that you're smart, that you're honest with yourself. This isn't about journaling perfectly. You can make a mental note, a voice memo, sticky note. All of it counts. Just start where you are right now, okay? I've got a post that's called 5-Minute Manifestation Routine for Busy People, and it has some printouts on it. If you want to click that link, it'll really help you. You can print out those printables and use them to start making a gratitude practice, okay? What happens when you keep going with using gratitude? You will start to feel and see a slow but real shift in your mindset and your life. This happens with consistency. You won't feel it working right away, and that's okay, but you will start to feel your energy shift by simply getting that grateful feeling going inside of you by saying thank you. Sometimes I will do this by just saying thank you over and over and over again because it gets that grateful feeling going inside my body and it raises my energy. Gratitude builds momentum, and momentum is what eventually changes the pattern of what you attract. This is just the beginning of your manifestation journey. Choosing gratitude from the bottom takes real courage, and that makes it even more powerful. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just have to start with one small thing. I hope you enjoyed this post today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big old thumbs up. I'd really appreciate it. If you're over on my blog, iHeartLOA.com, can you do me a big favor? Save this post for the days when you need it the most. Subscribe to get more posts like this delivered to your inbox. Drop me a comment below and let me know what's one small thing you can be grateful for today. I would love to know, and I'd love to hear from you. And I hope you're doing great, and I hope you have an awesome day. So, I guess I will see you in the next video. Bye.